Takeaway with Tyra. Thank you for joining me today. Now, so that you don't miss out on any of my updates, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also like hearing from you, so go ahead and like and comment. My guests are always exciting and have great things to share with us. What I do on this show is I have one guest and I ask them one question. Then they get the floor. So here we go. So hello and welcome once again. I am so happy to have you joining me here on the Takeaway with Tyra. I'm over here on Vancouver Island, Canada. And as you can see, I have a guest and we have an interpreter. So today, welcome Sandra Fennings and her interpreter, Carolyn.
Hello.
I'm so glad you joined me today.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
So we were talking earlier and you had told me about some online experience that you have had for quite some time and that you really came to a place in your life and in your journey that you found ONPASSIVE is the last business for you. So I want you to take it away and explain this to us.
Okay. Well, I would say I have about 20 years of online experience. I'm a very technical person. And I have a lot of computer skills. I understand, I've always known how to use the internet, Facebook, and a variety of online programs. So I got involved first in MLMs, multi-level marketing. And I consider myself to be a very good marketer. I tried different areas. So selling health and wellness products, household products, like Amway or Malaluka, just different examples of other different programs, BioPro, all sorts of different MLMs that I had been involved in. And I would share them with my family, my friends, people who I was meeting. And I did have several people join who also had high hopes of being able to make some good money. You always have to pay into these every month to continue. And when you don't have the money to continue, it's very difficult, as well as having the marketing skills to bring in others. You don't necessarily have the support from people to help you to network these or to market these. And so because a lot of people just didn't innately have them, 90% of these opportunities would fail. It was only a very small percentage of people who were able to succeed. And I was one of the 97%. I had been fed up. And then several months later, after I got out of all of these multi-level marketing initiatives, I decided I was giving up with MLMs. I was done. Now, there was one country that, one that I continued to be a client of because I really enjoyed their products, but I was no longer making any money. I was just paying out on a monthly basis.
Right.
And then a friend of mine later told me about this other opportunity to invest money, and it was called a high yield income program, or an HYIP investment program. And so it was a high risk investment, investing online. And what you do is you take a chunk of money and you invest it, and you're supposed to be receiving very high returns on your investment. Generally, within 6 months to a year, you end up losing money as opposed to making money. And so it's always people who get in early tend to make the money, and then everyone after that doesn't make any money off of it, or just profits very little than what is expected. And so I'm not going to name any, but they're all gone. They're no longer in existence.
Wow.
So I ended up giving up. And then I heard about OnPassive. And that was in around June 2018. A friend of mine who was also an investor, so I knew them, also a fellow Canadian. I'd met them twice and I had some trust with them. They told me about OnPassive. And I thought, oh no, it's another scam. You know, they didn't have a website at that time. It was only an email, and you could only hear different audios that Ash had created, but I can't hear, so I wasn't really able to access the information. Now, this person I know was telling me about Ash, the CEO of OnPassive, and I had my doubts. I didn't want to join them, but they kept telling me about it and suggested that this is a company you can trust. And so, because I knew I trusted this fellow investor, I joined. And then I spent time reading. And then, about 6 months later, I signed up my husband, my children, and I was afraid to recruit people because I was afraid it might not be ready. Now, I wanted to see proof. I wanted to see that they had the infrastructure in place, that they had staff in place, that they were legally registered and all of that, because I don't just want to listen to talk, I want to see something.
Yeah.
And then July of 2020, last year, I finally made my move to begin sharing this with my friends, and letting others know about the OnPassive
Wow.
experience. I believe in OnPassive. I believe it took me 2 years, but
I was
I
gonna,
very much a believe.
I was gonna say, yeah, you did sit on it for a bit.
Yes, that's right. I was very much on the fence. I wasn't sure yet, and I wanted to see it. The proof is in the pudding, right? So we already had the business in Florida, and then we saw in India the building, and you could see the staffing there. We were seeing pictures, and we finally got to meet Ash on webinars. And so through those conversations and through seeing the amazing things that he was saying, as well as having documentation to see that it was an officially registered business in the state of Florida. And that way they were involved with the Better Business Bureau
Mhm.
and sunbiz.org, which also has the registrations. I think there's 3 different places that you can check to make sure that this is a legitimate business. And I was reading about the products that Ash was building on OnPassive. I was reading the website from onpassive.com and I gained much more of an understanding. I saw videos on YouTube and kept up with Facebook, seeing all of the different products that were being created.
Yeah.
And we knew that no one who joined OnPassive was making any money yet. And we knew that. Even we see that there's money paid into advertising or that kind of thing. And I was using YouTube, I was showing things. And of course, I don't get paid for doing any of that either.
Right.
I was also using Zoom to share information about OnPassive with my teams because OnPassive began to grow. And as more and more people joined my teams, I began having weekly Zoom webinars so that people can network with each other.
Right.
And I've never gotten paid for any of this, but still, I know that OnPassive is different because once we launch, we'll be using all of OnPassive products. You have to pay once, and then after that, you pay the $250 once, and then that's basically going to be it. And from then on, I'm going to be getting paid. Everyone is going to be getting paid. And I've never seen anything like this in the past.
Yeah.
OnPassive is unique. And I felt like this is going to have to be my last business because it's so much different than any of those other online companies that I've seen out there and network companies. Usually they keep billions of dollars of profit for themselves. They don't share that with their members. However, ONPASSIVE has a very unique vision and business plan. We're going to be using those products, founders, and then the CEO is going to be sharing profits with all of us. And I'd never seen anything like that before. It's a very unique opportunity and a unique business. And this is going to be my last business to be involved with. So I'm so excited for ONPASSIVE. It's so perfect for the deaf community because you don't have to be actively out there building teams or marketing. With Ash and ONPASSIVE and artificial intelligence, all of that is going to be done for you. You don't have to communicate on the phone and speak to other hearing people. It's just such a perfect opportunity for deaf individuals. So different than anything else I've ever been involved with. And I'm so looking forward to the launch, as is many of other deaf community members, along with the products that they're creating, because their products and services are going to be so technologically advanced, and they're just going to be super. Just everything that they're going to feature, which is going to be so much better than anything in existence today, like Zoom or Facebook. They all have limited features.
Yeah.
And I'm so looking forward to our products that are going to just completely take over the market. And I believe that many more people are going to join ONPASSIVE because everyone's going to love all of the products. So for the price of $250 a month is so cheap compared to everything you're going to be getting. And that includes all of the feature and all of the products, as opposed to having to pay individually.
Mhm.
I know that there's some online products that you have to pay $500 a month to use 13 different products and services, I think it is, compared to ONPASSIVE's 50 that they have created, that you pay once.
Yes.
And it's still cheaper than what you were paying monthly for the others. So it's so exciting. I'm so interested in these. The other products that I was talking about, where you have to pay $500 a month, you don't get money back. You're not earning anything off of it. And yet with ONPASSIVE, you could make up to $20,000 a month. So I'm just so excited. The future is coming.
You know, you're saying these things and it's just bang on, because that's the thing that people are finding with what you're saying and the kind of products that are coming out. Like, it's one thing to have a product, say like what we're using. It's old technology, but why fix it? Because they're making tons of money just as it is. So along is going to come ONPASSIVE, and boy, what a change that's going to be as far as technology goes. And the other thing that you brought up, that, you know, for me, I wear hearing aids, but I can still hear. So, you know, but you brought up the fact about the hearing or non-hearing community and what a great business this is, you know, and I never thought of that. It's excellent because you're not on the phone. You're not trying to, I love it.
Exactly. You don't need to. Artificial intelligence is our new friend. They're doing the job for us. That's right. Other businesses don't use artificial intelligence, and this is going to build our business for us. AI is amazing. I'm also a teacher. I teach sign language online. And so I'm using an online service called Canvas and a module. And we're using something called I'm looking forward to when Academy is available.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very excited for when that comes out.
So just expand on that for us too, because that's another product of ONPASSIVE that is just going to rock so many things that are out there, the usability, the user friendly. So talk to us a little bit about how it's going to be a benefit to you.
Canvas and Moodle that I'm using currently, what I'm doing is I have to video myself, then I have to edit it before I post it. Those two programs don't have the ability for me to take the video and to do the editing. But in Academy, it's going to have all of that available for me. So I have to use other apps in order to take my video and edit it. And then I have to upload it. And I would way rather have everything in one suite instead of me having to use multiple apps in order to get the final product. So that's going to be a huge difference for me. Now, I don't have to pay for these two programs because the college pays for me, but I'm not a direct customer of that. But when I'm using Academy, I will be a customer and others will be able to see what I'm using as well. And I know there's going to be a lot of interest in what I'm doing. So I feel like I'm going to be able to introduce Academy to a lot of my colleagues and other people. It's going to benefit me in my teaching, but it's also going to lead to a lot of benefits. ONET replacing Facebook and Twitter. Shop, instead of anything that you're doing online, we'll be able to use that one product. And it's my chance to introduce these products to people that I meet, people who will become my customers because I'll be a reseller as well. So I'm so looking forward to them.
I love it. I love it. That is just marvelous. So, we're going to start wrapping up here, but I do want to just know before we go, you do seem to have a good understanding because you talked about having a team and just being able to now share this with your community. So just before we go, are there any words you want to share with people that maybe they've looked at it or kind of sat on the fence and, they're kind of wishy-washy about it? Do you want to share some of that with us, please?
Okay. I have my own YouTube channel done in American Sign Language. So the deaf community is able to get an introduction into ONPASSIVE in their language, and they're able to see the products and the features that ONPASSIVE is going to offer. I also have weekly Zoom webinars on Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons. So people who aren't sure are able to join us and receive information. I have over 100 people joining every Tuesday, and I've maxed out my room availability. And then 30 or 40 or so come up on Thursdays, and that's for new potential founders or guests to get information. So people are able to come in, ask their questions on Zoom. If they don't understand what they've read, because English is generally the second language for people who are deaf, American Sign Language or ASL is their first language. So they want to access the information in sign language as opposed to in English. And that's one way that we've been able to help clarify information. It's been so helpful for them. They come in, they receive the training, they understand all of this information about ONPASSIVE, and they get very excited. So a lot of them do end up becoming founders. I have over 1,500 people in my team. And it keeps growing. It's just limitless and it's amazing. I love being able to help people to build their teams as well. So as I said, a lot of people don't have the comfort or the skill to share ONPASSIVE. So I ask them to bring their friends and their family to come into my webinars, and they're able to get the information. We're so excited. We're really looking forward to the launch. It's amazing.
I love it. I love it. That's wonderful. So if I were to look up on YouTube, just your name, Sandra Fennings, will I find your channel? Yes? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And you can also look on Facebook. We have a private Facebook group. It's called ASL LSQ, which is French Sign Language for Canada. And so it's ASL LSQ ONPASSIVE Global. And that's a founders only private group that we have for information. And we have 1,300 members of this page.
Okay, that's excellent. Well, I'm just blown away. I'm really just blown away because, you know, there's so many aspects to this company and the founders and all the little niches that people are touching. Like for someone that has perfect hearing, these kind of things wouldn't cross their mind. So it's not a niche they would go down. Whereas when other people come in, because of the diversity of this company, now all of a sudden you're filling a niche that's needed. I love it. That's excellent. So congratulations in what you're doing. And I just hope things just continue to grow well. And I want to thank each of you for joining us today. Sandra, Carolyn, this was excellent. So thanks and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
Great. See you all for now. Bye.